You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and 70 Mounts to the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Beasts of the Thorns. Chris's path, I believe. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Chris was covered in sweat, probably in the middle of exercising. He sniffled himself somewhat awkwardly. Oh, don't worry, Chris. You smell fine. You're working out? Just a little exercise. I haven't done much these days. Why are you up so early? Didn't you sleep well? Chris eyed me with some concern. Did what happened yesterday stress you out? Yeah, maybe. I paused and decided to come clean. Actually, it was Fred who called me. He's getting married. Congratulations to him. Then my parents removed me from the family, sold our old home where we lived for 20 years, and replaced the phone. Fred is the one who called me to inform me of this. Chris gave me a look of worry and pain. Never mind, I don't even care anymore. Your indifference is actually caring. I've known you for too long. I sigh. Chris, you listen to me. There's nothing left to change here. You've known me long enough to know that I was never good enough for my parents. I once believed there was emotion between us, but when I returned to my senses, what did they do? Even if they tried to hide me, even for a day, I would be very grateful. The result I got was the Diemen counselor came that day. I've always been their shame. Fred is their pride. Things shouldn't be like this. No parents wouldn't love their own children. Right? Chris looked at me with pleading eyes. I sighed again and reached up to tickle the back of Chris's left ear, which is very sensitive and I've never been sure why. But now I think it's the so-called doggy cool spot. Chris laughed and pried my hand away. Okay, I won't bring it up anymore. Do you want to do some exercises too? Stimulating endorphins release can help improve your mood. I looked at my canvas shoes. I should be able to handle jogging. Come on. Chris grinned and got in my way. Warm up first. I'm rolling my eyes internally. Okay, don't worry, Mom. Got it. No ways. The Renaissance clock effect's still going on? It seems like you can convey what you want to say to me. Your tendons need to stretch to avoid sports injuries. Bend your waist down. You're too stiff. Chris doesn't care about the resonance clock and pulls strongly on my stiff muscles. No, it's impossible for a human being to do that position. I screamed inwardly in pain as Chris stretched my arms back. It can be. Your body structure is similar to mine, except you're so under-exercised. Damn resonance bell. If my head were still there, tears would definitely be streaming down. Ready to go? Chris wrung out the hem of his shirt, which was soaked through and wringing out quite a bit of sweat. Strangely, he didn't want to take his shirt off and wring it out, probably because he didn't want me to see his bare upper body. Come to think of it, I haven't seen him bare-chested for as long as I've known him. Is it because he wants to look good in front of me? That'll do. Come on, then. Chris led me along the edge of the forest. His big feet were about twice as long as mine, and I had to pick up speed to catch up with him. The early morning forest was refreshingly scented with the scent of coniferous trees. As the sun rises, the light disperses the fog, and the sunlight streaks through the gaps in the verdant trees. It's actually quite nice out there. But there are no insects or birds chirping in the forest, which is a bit strange. If you really look at it, there doesn't seem to be any animals in the forest. And generally speaking, well-groomed grassy areas at the edge of the forest are a good place for birds to feed, even on the other side of the city park where there were pigeons perched on the grass. But we ran along the forest for 5 or 6 kilometers and didn't see a single bird, let alone any other animal. By the time I was distracted from my thoughts, I was already dozens of meters behind Chris and could only watch from a distance as his tail wagged regularly from side to side. He was getting faster and faster and seemed to really enjoying his run. When he finally realized I couldn't catch up, he stopped and waited for me. He was breathing heavily, his tongue hanging out of his mouth, but when I got close enough, he put his tongue back in and tried to look as decent as possible. He really cares about appearances, even if right now his fur is soaking wet and he looks like a downward dog. How are you not tired? It's not bad. I think it's probably because I don't have to breathe. I don't have to care about any rhythms, and it's a pretty smooth run. Except I'd like to take a shower now. The Brotherhood's home is just ahead. I think I can go freshen up first. We walked about a minute to the fraternity house and saw a number of members already coming and going. It turns out that everyone picks this time of day to practice in the morning and then use the fraternity's bathrooms. It was Darwin who opened the door for us, and he stared at both of us with a look of disgust. The laundry facilities and bathrooms are in the basement, the last room on the left. After showering, you can put on training clothes first. You guys probably haven't received anything yet, right? We nodded. Just give me a second. Darwin was seen opening the storage space under the stairs and rummaging around. Dogs should be fine in size XXL. With that, he pulled out 2 brand new sets of clothes and threw them at us, a military green short-sleeves top and a pair of camouflage shorts, military-like specifications. This is our training uniform. Many of us just wear it as normal clothes. If it breaks, just ask me for it, and get your locker key from me later. We each have our own personal locker. Now go take a shower. You stink. Is the bathroom a single room? Chris smiled and gently pulled my hand aside. Normally we use the communal bathroom in the basement, which is cleaned more regularly, but there is a bathroom available on the 3rd floor. But I'm not sure if the body wash is still available there, said Darwin as he fished out 2 more cans of body lotion from the pantry and tossed them over, and 2 brand new bath towels. Then he thought better of it and tossed me an entire set of personal hygiene products. I opened it up, and instead of razors and other human products, there were brushes, clippers, fur polish, and other hair care tools for large animals. There are other contents inside, but I plan to inspect them later. After handing over the items, Darwin pointed out the location of the bathroom and quickly left. It turned out there was an argument happening at the end of the corridor. Darwin intervened in a scuffle between a jaguar and a coyote. And before they could exchange more than a few words, Darwin swiftly subdued the jaguar, who was twice his size. The throat-lock takedown. He quickly quelled the dispute. Jesus Christ. Indeed, the strength of some demons cannot be judged by their size. Remind me not to anger that hyena. I nodded in agreement. The 3rd floor bathrooms consisted of 2 adjacent rooms. Each had personal storage and changing space, leading into a shower area with full-length mirrors embedded in the walls. Despite the antique-style decor, the modern bathroom amenities were plentiful, some even luxurious. Chris and I each entered one room and began to prepare for washing. Near the storage area, there was a complete set of bathing products, including shower gels and shampoos for different races, as well as a whole drawer of brushes. Darwin had thought of everything, indicating that these facilities were frequently used. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any products suitable for human skin. I randomly picked a bottle of shower gel and opened it. It smelled quite pleasant, so I decided to use it. Next, I checked the personal hygiene kit provided by Darwin. Although most of the items were not useful to me, there was one item I needed, a deodorant, and a brand new pair of underwear. It was quite thoughtful, and basically all the necessary items were there. However, when I opened the package of underwear, I found it wasn't the usual style I wore. Instead, it was a type of athletic boxer briefs. It was a bit embarrassing. I had never worn this style of clothing before. While it's true that the Wild Hunt Brotherhood could be considered a kind of sports club, the situation caught me off guard. But I really didn't want to wear sweaty clothes inside my clean outerwear. I put aside this issue for now. Taking a shower was more important. I grabbed the shower gel and headed into the shower room, washing myself from head to toe. The shower gel smelled fantastic, and the water temperature was just right. However, the walls seemed to be poorly soundproofed, as I could faintly hear Chris humming a song amidst the splashing water. As I was thinking about this, I heard a sudden clatter from the adjacent bathroom, as if several things had fallen to the floor. I resonated with Chris's chaotic emotions, secretly amused in my heart. I continued my shower, thankful that I didn't have to deal with the hair due to the lack of a head, which saved me half the shower time. After drying myself and applying deodorant, I was basically done. But when my gaze returned to the clothes, I hesitated for a while before deciding to put on all the clothes provided by Darwin. Wearing unfamiliar clothes felt really strange. There was a sense of insecurity in the buttocks area, and the belt had holes for the tail to pass through, making me feel embarrassed about the emptiness below my waist. I gathered my dirty clothes as well as my own toiletries, walked out of the bathroom, and waited for Chris on the side bench. Looking at the old-fashioned clock on the wall, it was only 7 o'clock, which was more than enough time. I looked out the window at the lighting sky. I heard voices coming and going from downstairs. There was also a loud and excited, "Hello, Mr. President. I think Ostrom's here." Suddenly, I felt Chris's embarrassed emotions coming through. He probably saw those boxer briefs. Shortly after, he walked out the bathroom door looking well-dressed but uncomfortably adjusting his pants. I smiled at him. He turned his head away from me, but then suddenly his eyes drifted up to stare at me, then down to my lower half. Then he looked away and scratched his head. Now I'm embarrassed. It's too bad it's so obvious what he's thinking. I was digging my own grave, so I cleared my throat and tried to change the subject. Let's go do some laundry. You're hungry, aren't you? Okay. Chris replied absent-mindedly. It is best to avoid eye contact with me and walked ahead of me in a somewhat unnatural manner. As we descended the stairs, many members greeted us, but the demons would habitually exhibit behavior of sniffing the air, making me feel uncomfortable even though I had just showered. And when we got to the basement, even though most of the demons were leaving to get ready for class, there were still some using the washing machine, and the whole laundry room smelled like laundry detergent, lavender. It seems that the demons prefer this smell. A few of the members were talking and instructing us on how to use the washer as well as the dryer with all the fancy, expensive-looking features on it. I threw my clothes in the washer and set it up, and it took all of 20 minutes. Chris and I casually chatted with the members while we waited for our clothes. The fraternity members were very welcoming and introduced us to various places on campus. And although we disagreed on which restaurant had the best food, we did agree on the coffee. And Chris and I decided to wait and try the Van Diemen cinnamon caramel coffee, which was highly recommended by the magical creatures. Then we set off for Van Diemen. On the way to the restaurant, I called him more, but he was still asleep. I decided to correct his Fox's regular sleeping schedule and persistently kept calling to wake him up for meals. The three of us arrived at the restaurant almost at the same time, and I looked at the sign that read Van Diemen in gorgeous calligraphy, probably the Van Diemen family restaurant. Although there was a long line at the takeout window, there were still plenty of empty seats inside. The three of us casually found a seat and sat down, only to see that the waiters were all phantom succubi. The reason why this store is so popular is definitely not only good coffee. The waitresses were all smiles as they looked at Amor, and the waitress who took our order even winked at him. Amor and Chris each ordered a cinnamon caramel coffee. Amor ordered waffles for breakfast, and Chris had a whole roasted chicken. The morning workout left me needing a replenishment of a lot of protein. He added defensively, as if there was some shame in eating a lot. At my strong request, I forbade them both to shorten their meals for my sake, but instead, so as to not bore me, they began to stop their knives and forks off and chat with me, and our meals lengthened. But it's a great atmosphere, and we don't mind spending more time with each other. While waiting for the food to arrive, Amor whispered something to Chris. It turned out a sheep-type succubus was staring intently at Chris. Are we gonna get to see these lovely ladies by any chance? I do like me some succubi. Chris looked a little embarrassed by Amor's teasing, shook his head with a bitter smile, and threw me a pleading look. Just when I wanted to intervene, the Phantoms served our breakfast and saved the day for an awkward Chris. Amor's waffles looked very tasty, but Chris's rotisserie chicken was almost the size of a quail. Which made him very sad. At least it's well seasoned. Chris sulkily added a plate of garlic sausages and asked us about yesterday's fiery meteors he ate. Amor perked up his ears, attentively listening to the discussions around us. No one was talking about the meteor shower. It seemed either it was under a gag order or simply not of interest to anyone. The demonic creatures don't seem to care much about these astronomical anomalies. All humans have to do is look at the sky and see some strange ball of light, and immediately a UFO conspiracy theory runs out. You mean you don't believe in UFOs or aliens? Seeing is believing, right? So many claimed sightings in the news, yet not a single piece of evidence to be found. Logically speaking, it doesn't add up. No hint of gentlemanly courtesy at all. Amor nudged Chris with his elbow, urging him to express an opinion. Chris, however, looked apologetic and turned his face away to sip his coffee. I can't believe it, you mindless drones. Our friends have let their dreams go up in smoke at such a young age. It's truly unfortunate. It's probably just a meteor with nickel in it. No, I've read about nickel meteors in books. The color of that meteor yesterday was too bright to be the color of burning nickel metal. Oh, they're right. They are cute. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Submarine. Thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thanks to our two gold tier patrons, Zeke and Toby. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!